everybody, welcome back. As you know, my name is Lauren and I'm here today to play with some makeup. I'm very distracted because I've got this shirt on and it's got this like seam right here and I don't know where in my arm it's supposed to be. If you work from, oh, that feels a little bit more comfortable. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be like this? All right. That's what I get for trying to be fancy. Today, this video is kind of like highly requested. I posted a picture on Instagram of me wearing the fox eye makeup and legit all the comments were like, you have to do that. So I appreciate the feedback. I always love when I get comments and you know, I like to take requests. It's always easier for me. So this is for you guys. I hope that I can recreate the look that I did because it was so gorgeous and I just did it for fun that one time. So hopefully I can do it today. It's fairly easy, so I think that we're gonna be able to do it. So let's get into it. I literally just went into my daughter's room and stole one of her like Elsa headbands. I don't know where all my stuff is. Oh god. Okay, so that's we can get started with face today. I feel so flustered. We can get started with face today, and actually let's do a little review. Yeah, today I'm gonna use I ordered this Real Techniques brush set, Everyday Essentials for blush, foundation, shadow, and highlighter and concealer off of Amazon. I've never used any Real Techniques brushes before. Super affordable. This was like 24 bucks, and it's got something so it says this is for blush, which is, I don't know about that, but okay. The Miracle Complexion Sponge, so I'm excited to use that today. This one, the RT300, so we'll try that. Crease brush. Layer and blend cream and powder shadows, build concealer. Okay. The setting for 2 soft and fluffy bristles, dust on highlighting or setting powder. This one. And then the Expert Face from Bristles, buff liquid or cream foundation. This one. So I'm probably not going to use them for what they're supposed to be for, but that's okay. Well, you know, I like the Real Technique brushes because they're like cute. Oh, it's so soft. Oh, yeah. It's got, what's that for? Garbage. I guess it's just to stick it in here. Okay, so this is the blush brush, but it can also be used for powder. Lovely. And we've got the sponge, which has got this nice flat edge that I'm very excited to try. Then this is supposed to be a crease brush. And here is the fluffy highlighter brush, although it's a little bit, I think I'd do it for more like powder underneath here. And last but not least, this is the foundation brush, but I think that, you know, this would be good to like do a contour. So I'm just gonna go wet this. I'll be right back. This end is so big. Wow, it's really wet. I'm gonna start with the Rimmel Stay Matte because I'm using my Armani Power Fabric foundation today, and I think that this was amazing the last time I used it, and I wanted to use it with the foundation that I use more often because I don't love that Estee Lauder foundation, especially since I have to spill it out onto my hand and it's very frustrating. All right, so for foundation, I'm gonna go in with my Power Fabric foundation and my BB cream. I've had my shoulder tied up in a sling all week trying to fix that shoulder issue I've been having because I'd like to get back to working out. I can't do any push-ups or anything. It's very frustrating. I started doing P90X, oh gosh, when was it? In the summer, and it's been crazy what it has done. I was actually able to increase like the calories that I eat and still lose the inches in weight with P90X, so that was pretty nuts. Okay, so I'm gonna use this beauty sponge to dab and pat this foundation in just the same as I would my Morphe one. It's definitely very soft. The foundation on my forehead is breaking up a little bit, and I don't know if it's because of this beauty sponge. It's definitely a little bit wet. sorry, I was saying, with the P90X, I've been able to increase my calories and still lose the weight in the inches because the workouts are so amazing. And so I got P90X 2 because I didn't want to plateau. And the first week of the workouts, you're doing a lot of like burpees and stuff. And I think I just irked my shoulder doing that, which is so annoying because I just want to get back to it. So I tried to rest it once before and it didn't really work. So this week I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent powder and just set that. So I'm going to use, no, I'm going to use my regular powder brush because then I'm going to use this for bronzer. Actually, I'm going to use it for both because there's no color here. This foundation is a mess, I'm not gonna lie. This is pretty, and it got up all over this brush. Interesting. Okay. So now we're gonna go into contour. I'm gonna use this little brush for contour. I'm just gonna do a little, so I figured if I kept my shoulder wrapped up close to my body, then I would remember not to do things like open doors or turn the steering wheel or whatever, because those are the things that were getting me. But yeah, if you're looking for a really good like workout program, honestly, like the OG P90X is pretty crazy. So I'm gonna go back in with this big fluffy brush and my bronzer and just do swirl in the top there and see how she does. You know what I've been thinking about a lot all week, and I'm sure everybody has as well. And honestly, this is something that pops into my head kind of like randomly often. Not often, like enough. So that documentary came out about Britney Spears, and something that I've always thought, but more this week because of the documentary, is like, what happened to Britney Spears? Really though, because there was a point several years back when the conservatorship first happened, and a magazine article came out that said that Britney Spears had like an undisclosed mental health issue, that if she wasn't kept on the conservatorship, or that if, you know, she wasn't protected from herself or whatever, it would be bad news, but no one would say what this like issue was. I'm gonna do some concealer because I want to use this little brush to see about putting the translucent powder on my face. So I hope the fact that I powdered my face already doesn't ruin it too much. And I wonder if that's true. I mean, obviously it's really hard to trust articles, but it would definitely seem that there is something about Britney Spears that just doesn't sit right. I'm gonna use this brush to pat down that concealer. Something I've never done before, so let's see how that works. Yeah, so that's my thought. Like, does she have an actual like mental health issue that would keep her from taking care of herself? Or is that just something that the powers that be decided to pretend was the case because they wanted to keep her under their thumb? And I definitely think that as a superstar that constantly has people, I mean, that's all right. I'm gonna go back in with this, and it's so wet. That constantly has people around you like saying yes all the time. That can drive you crazy for sure. And also, a thing that the documentary went into was the way that her breakup with Justin Timberlake went, because he told everybody that they had slept together and she had told everybody that she was waiting for marriage. And there were literally, like, she had an interview, I think it was with Diane Sawyer, and she was like, how dare you? How dare you do that to Justin? Like, who do you think you are? And then there was some like congresswoman or something somewhere that said that she wanted to shoot Britney because she wasn't being a good role model. And like, that's crazy. Imagine living a life where like people just feel like it's okay to say that to you. That has to make you a little bit crazy. And I'm gonna use this one more time for blush. So I'm just gonna wipe it off. And actually I think I'll use this one for highlighter. So I'll wipe this one off too on a towel, not my pants. So you have used this for powder, which I mean, it was fine, put powder all over my face. Bronzer, which I mean, I guess it did okay. I think I like my other bronzer brushes better. So I'm just gonna put this on my cheeks. This actually, this put the blush on so nicely. It's such like just a nice light wash of color. Well, well, well. I guess if you use something for what it says it's for, sometimes it works out. Oh, that's nice. I really like the way that that turned out. Wicked. Then I'm going to go back in and use this little one with my Becca Opal. A little dense for highlight. Like this isn't... Ooh. Okay, so the face is done. I'm just going to set it and then we'll move on to eyes. I decided to use this brush to pat out the concealer on my eye as well. Because why not? I really just don't want my hair to crease. Okay, we're gonna just pull it back like this for now because I just spent so long straightening it, and we're done with the face. We're gonna move into eyes. For the Fox Eye Trend, you don't need a transition shade, but I like to have one. I feel like it pulls the whole look together. So I'm just gonna go with those two lightest colors in the Jaclyn Hill palette. So I'm going to start with this brown in the Anastasia Sultry palette. It's called Twig. It's just a bit more of a cool tone brown. And I'm going to take it on this flat shader brush, and I'm just going to concentrate that on the like outer V of my eye. Just building up that color. Nice and slowly. From sort of the middle of my lid into my like eyebrow. We are going to be building up this color a little bit, so don't worry about it being too dark, and like if you want to like, you want to make sure that it's like up right, because that's the Fox Eye thing. It's, you know, up this way. And once I'm done putting that on both sides, I'm just going to sort of bring it up into my crease a little bit. Just sort of give it more oomph in this corner here. I'm not adding any more color to my brush. I'm just building from what's there. So then I'm going to go in with a bit of a darker color. I'm just going to use this one from the original Jaclyn Hill palette, and a bit of a more precise brush. I'm going to use this one from Sigma, and I'm just going to dot that. And again, I'm just going to run it over this. Oh my god, please don't touch my face. And again, building it up there and then wafting it out like that. This is a perfect eyeshadow if you have hooded eyes, because all of the magic is happening like out into the side. And then I'm going to go in just the next darker shade, so I'm going to use that one right there, and we're going to deepen that up even more. Imagine that. I'm just going to be a little bit more precise in that corner there, deepening it up, bringing it out. I'm going to go with just a nice little flat brush. And I've got this, just this big shadow right here called Fresh, and I'm just going to pop that in the inside of my eye. And then the very final color that we're going to go with is black. I'm going to use my little pencil brush. I'm going to take off any of the, because I use it for the inner corner highlight. I'm going to dip it in the black from my palette, and I'm going to start by just putting it on my lash line. And then winging it out a little bit. Flick along the edge there. Be careful with your black, because you don't want, if it's too intense, you don't want it to get followed on your face. So just like pay attention for that and have a little bit. Then I'm going to take a black liner. I guess we'll just use the Sigma one that I'm trying to get rid of. I'm going to put it on the top of my waterline. And then I'm just going to smudge it on my lash line and go back in with a flat brush and blend that out. Okay, so I'm just going to throw on my brows and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to do the under eye, and the same with the outer portion, you want to keep everything sort of like on the outside to keep that fox eye lift happening. So we're just going to do on the outside sort of what we did on the top. So we're going to start with some black shadow. I'm just going to do that on like the outer half of my bottom lash line. And then with a little bit of a bigger brush, I'm going to go in with this one. I'm going to use that dark brown over top. To blend it, to blend it out a little bit. And then I'm going to take this little pencil brush and I'm just going to bring that in so that it's ever so lightly on the inside as well. And I'm actually going to toss on an inner corner highlight again, just because I feel like that helps, you know, bring that lightness to the inner part of your eye. So I'm just going to go like that and like that. Okay, so now I'm going to put on mascara and I'll be right back to do lashes. Okay, so now I'm going to throw on lashes. I just wanted to mention something. I know that I kind of always do this, but for the fox eye trend, again, you want to keep everything sort of like up and out. So you want to cut your lashes in half and only place them on the outside of your eyes. So I'm going to use my Faux Mink Lashes from, well, that's not even right, from Ardell. In the picture that I posted on Instagram, I was using the wispies because they were all that I had, but I thought I'd make it a little bit more dramatic this time. So we're going to use a bit of a thicker lash and then we will be back to finish up. So I've got my lashes and my lower lashes on, and there's one thing I want to try, and I hope I don't screw it up. So I'm going to take my Maybelline gel liner, the little brush that it comes with, and I'm just going to put like a tiny little bit on the brush, the tip of the brush, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to draw it. Just gives your eyes that more like feline shape. Okay, so for today I'm going to go in with my Lipstick lip crayon in chocolate and my Shiseido lipstick in wood blah. I like this Shiseido lipstick because it's small. It's easy to draw on. It's so pretty. So the final thoughts on the Real Technique brushes. Overall, I think that they were fine. This, I don't know if you can tell, my makeup is breaking up like horribly. So I don't know if it's because of this, if it's because it was too wet. So I am going to give this one more shot. I'm going to make sure that it dries down a little bit next time before I use it, but I really like the shape. I really like this big, like flat portion of it. It's really nice and soft, but I just don't know if it did to my makeup what I wanted it to. I actually liked this for putting on my contour. It was really, really nice. I think it gave me a more defined look, which I really enjoy without making it too like crazy. So I am going to use this again next week, but first impressions, I really enjoyed that one. This I used to put on my highlight and to put, this I use to put on the powder underneath my eyes and the highlight on my face. I do think it's a little bit too dense for the highlight, although, you know, it's fine. If this is all you've got, definitely usable. It was good for putting on the powder. However, my under eyes look awful. And I don't know, again, if that's because of the beauty sponge or if it's because of this, but it is a brush that I'm going to try using in other ways. So it was okay. If you don't have anything else, it's fine. This one I used to put pat on the concealer, which I will never do again. I think that possibly is what made it look so cakey, but I did use it to pat down the concealer on my eye, and I actually really liked it for that because usually I use this flat brush right here, and then I don't have a little flat brush to do my glitter with, so this is definitely going to go into rotation for doing that. I really, really liked this one. And the powder brush, I actually, more than anything else, loved it for blush. So I think it did such a nice job of just giving like a really subtle wash of color on the cheeks. It made everything look really pretty and really blended out. So I will be using this. It was fine for powder, whatever. I like my e.l.f. brush better, to be honest with you. And bronzer, I like the several bronzer brushes that I have. But honestly, for blush, this was pretty wicked. So I'm going to try this again next time I film. But overall, I actually really liked this one as well. So if you are on a budget, definitely this Real Techniques package is something that I would recommend. Just be careful. You might have to try different ways of using it to do your makeup. I am going to give you another use of this one, and I will review it after my second try to let you know about that. But the rest of the brushes, you can definitely use them for whatever your heart desires. They worked just fine, so I will give them 2 thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. As always, it was the most fun to create this look for you. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I upload every single Friday. It was a good day. I hope it was a good day for you too, and we'll definitely see you in the next one.